What do record labels do? That is such a common question, and I have the answer. As an actual music attorney, I've been doing this for 9 years. I have reviewed hundreds of record label contracts, so I know exactly what they say. And what your actual record label contract basically says is that the label is going to get you music distribution. So meaning they will take your music, they will ensure that it is distributed to all the music platforms. That's pretty much it. They usually make no commitment when it comes to, promoting, doing marketing, making sure you get live show bookings, any of that stuff. They never actually put that in the contract. What they do is that they sell you on lots of things and make lots of promises, but just so you know, it usually does not appear in the actual contract. So let's take a look at this. So what your contract says, label is going to get you music distribution. In return, the label is always going to take ownership of your music, almost always. There might be some, great music label out there that's doing a unique kind of deal, but across the board, industry standard is the label owns the music. All right. And then not only are they going to own the music of what you sign to them while you're in the relationship, but a lot of labels also want your back catalog. So meaning what else have you created that comes in with what you sign. Okay. And then also, last but not least, labels secure the rights to your future music as well. And they do this through what are called options. Options are essentially options for the contract to be extended by the record label. So record label might say, I'm going to sign you, we're going to do an initial 2 albums, and then we have an option to extend the term of the contract for another 2 albums if we decide to. Most of the time they decide to, unless maybe you're not making money, you're not doing well, but they probably aren't going to let you out of the contract. So that's what the contract says. What good labels actually do is far different. So when it comes to working with an actually great label, number one, they're going to force you to focus on building your audience. When it comes time to actually get leverage in the game of the music business, you have to be actively building your audience and finding the people who like your music and who like you. Because at the end of the day, we're trying to get through all these gatekeepers of, oh, can you help me? And can you introduce me to this person? And I should network and this and that. But at the end of the day, all we're trying to do is to build an audience that likes our stuff, that's going to come to our shows and buy our merchandise. And so understanding that that really is the top priority for any successful independent artist, independent business owner, well, that's at the top of the funnel. So that's going to be something that the record label should do as far as encouraging you to help you build, to put you in contact with people who can help and give you some training. Okay, so that's kind of phase 1. Let's build your audience. Let's build your soldiers who are going to get out the word about what you do. Phase 2 is that, well, now we got to figure out how are you going to make money. And we call this ancillary income. Okay, so ancillary income is going to be the stuff that is around what you do as a musician, as an artist, as a music producer. So if you are, for example, a music producer, you can put together sample packs, right? You can sell sample packs, you can sell beats, you can sell your time by mixing and mastering and making music for other people. That is ancillary to what you are doing, but it's actually supporting what you're doing and making it possible. Why labels are smart is that they figured this out really early on. Back in the day with vinyls and cassette tapes and then CDs, they had to figure out the way to get the actual music to the consumer. So guess what? They came up with CDs and cassettes and everything in between that you use for technology to consume the music. So they built all of these ancillary products to sell the music in conjunction with that actually ends up being the big money makers. So keeping that in mind, now we're thinking, okay, so how are we going to do this for ourselves? We'll come back to this. So what services, what can you sell? What can you do? Or if you don't have any skills right now that you think that you could sell to kind of help fund your career, what do you need to go learn? So then moving on, phase 3, build your team. Okay, we are not going to go and sign with people that we are not ready to sign with. Okay, when it comes to your manager, industry standard is between 15 and 20% for what the manager gets paid. And PS, this is of gross income. Gross income means all the monies that come into related to your entertainment career. Okay, so there's not going to be deduction because you bought your merch, right? You paid for all your merchandise and now you just got $500 of sales. You still need to pay your manager, his or her, 15 or 20%. So that's why getting super excited, I got to sign with a manager. That's cool. but it might be premature. Same with agents. They're going to take 10 to 15% commonly across the board. So what I suggest, and what record labels are typically doing, is that record labels are not going to be signing with managers and agents. Record labels hire people, okay? So record labels are going to hire, let's say, an operations manager, someone to come in and handle the day-to-day minutia for the artist. They're also going to hire people like social media managers. They're going to hire the people who are going to come in so that you actually can take the time to go and make the music and create the videos and have more of that leadership position. But in the beginning, guess what? You probably don't have the money to pay for those people, or you don't have a reason to bring those people into what you're doing. Once we have built an audience, and that is always a work in progress, figured out how to make money from music or ancillary income, right? Surrounding music, so that hopefully we don't have to keep the day job. We can transition full-time into music. At that point, now it makes sense to bring people in because you already have operations going. And so you're going to bring people in who can take charge and help you. And so then you're at the point now, guess what? You are your own music business. So at this point, my question is, if you are your own music business, you know how to run things, you have a team to help, why wouldn't you sign yourself and become your own record label? So if you sign yourself, do the things, you can even go on and sign other artists, right? We've seen so many artists become successful in the industry, and that's exactly what they do. They go and they start their own label because they're like, aha, I can do this. So then, circling back, when it comes to how we're actually going to execute and be like, the question is, what do record labels do? Everything I just described to you on what they do, that's the ideal amazing record label that we all want to be signed to. That's not what your record label is probably going to do. So what I'm doing is kind of instilling the different phases of this progression so you can do it for yourself. And all the videos on this channel is to set you up for success, so you can do just that. If you guys found this helpful, please be sure to give this video a big like, subscribe. I'm going to help you get to where you need to go.